Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 14th to the 16th of 2019. All right, so a lot going on here this weekend astrologically. As a backdrop, we have the moon changing signs. So on Friday, the moon in Libra will be placing an emphasis on bringing balance in our life, and particularly in our relationships, probably noticing themes around reciprocity, mutuality, and again, that interpersonal balance. So on Friday, Mars is going to be trining up to Neptune in opposite Saturn. Mars, the side of ourself that has our needs, our desires, our assertive side, having a bit of flow with Neptune, but also maybe incorporating some patience and responsibility with Saturn. Once we get into Saturday, the moon shifts into deep Scorpio. Also on Sunday, the moon will go into deep Ophiuchus. So really good couple days for healing, getting in touch with the deeper dimensions of life and transforming as a result of that. In fact, very early on Monday, and we'll likely feel it on Sunday as well, we have a full moon in Ophiuchus, very close to the galactic center. So great time for healing, great time for transformation. Also on Sunday, Jupiter squares Neptune. Some things from January may be coming to a head, or maybe taking some steps in the right direction involving our ideals or dreams in some way. And Mercury also going to be trining Neptune and opposite Saturn. So receptive mind perhaps, but also importance for that long-term discipline perspective with what we're thinking about. All right, so a lot going on astrologically. Let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky for this weekend. We're going to look at this for each day of the weekend here, starting first with Friday with the moon in balancing Libra, and then into Scorpio for Saturday and Sunday Ophiuchus, the deeper constellations here. Now, I do have an announcement down in the comment section. There is a link to a radio show that I was very fortunate to be on. A lot of you already know of it, the Crow 777 show. So that was just released on today, Thursday, when this video is being released. So if you haven't yet checked it out, do check out that interview. It's really awesome. Again, very privileged to be there. And the information we discussed was, I think, very enlightening. So talks about sidereal astrology. We also go into some of the fixed stars and how our life can essentially be incorporating more of, again, this more natural approach to living that astrology and the sky can help us cultivate. All right, so yeah, down below there'll be a link for that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this for each day of the weekend here, starting first with Friday. The moon will be in Libra. So the theme on Friday is about balance. We'll likely notice some themes around this on Friday. How can we bring in more balance in our personal life? Are there any areas out of balance we can bring back into balance? And oftentimes with Libra, it does involve relationships. So great day for incorporating more reciprocity, perhaps, mutuality, interpersonal connections, right? Bringing the scales into balance with that. Likely noticing themes, and just really good to cultivate that energy when the moon is in that constellation. Now on Friday, we do have Mars trining Neptune in opposite Saturn. Mars, the side of ourself that has our needs and desires, our motivation, is in a bit of nice flow with Neptune, the planet that deals with spirituality and receptivity. We probably notice a bit of this energy on Thursday as well. So just a good accepting nature, noticing that when we do put in our drive and motivation into certain areas, we just notice a bit of flow with that, and easy to be present, and also easier to be a bit compassionate and understanding and just receptive in relationships in general. Now with that, the opposition up to disciplined Saturn suggests that these motivations and drives, we might be needing or already seeing the long-term perspective of things. So Friday, particularly, good time to see the long road. How can we match our short-term needs and desires with our long-term needs and desires? The things in life that require patience, responsibility, discipline. Really good day to incorporate these two polarities. And if you do feel a lot of Mars energy, that drive, it's good to balance that with the disciplined energy of Saturn. And if you do feel a lot of Saturn energy, a lot of throttling or limitations, know that there are these, again, motivations. And so it's good to incorporate some more Mars energy, which is that drive and ambition, which, again, there's a lot getting activated with that. In fact, the moon will be trining up to that trine in opposition with Mars. All right, so along with this, once we get into Saturday, the moon will be shifting into deep Scorpio. And this will be preluding to the full moon that we're going to have for most of us either late Sunday or early Monday. Now, the full moon will be in a fucus, and this is going to be a heightened part of the cycle that deals with healing, becoming aware of maybe some things that we can heal. This could be spiritual healing, mental, emotional, or physical as well. And just becoming more aware of any wounds we may have internally or externally in our life. And of course, the purpose of it isn't just to become aware of them, it's to accept them. And so this full moon is going to give us this illumination, this awareness of what we can accept in our life that we may feel wounded about, or may be deep about life or about ourselves, that through that acceptance, we heal and transform. So excellent weekend, especially Saturday and Sunday for these deeper matters. And once the moon shifts into Scorpio on Saturday, we'll probably start to notice some themes regarding that stuff. All right, and as we start to get into Sunday, and mostly centered around Sunday, we do have then Mercury forming the same aspects that Mars did on Friday. So Mercury is the planet of our mind and communication. So noticing a bit of receptivity with that perhaps could be a great day on Sunday for imagination, creativity, allowing the mind to wander a bit. Again, compassion, receptivity, and communication. And the opposition to Saturn, disciplined Saturn, suggests that it is good to again see the long road, particularly with our perspective. Because again, Mercury deals with our thoughts and our ideas. And so with an opposition to Saturn, seeing the long road, patient, disciplined, approach to things. And in that way, it helps our mind become very constructive and grounded. And if you feel too much Saturn energy, if it's too dense or too realistic, incorporate some of that flexibility with Mercury. Remember, we're learning, we're exploring. Mercury's all about getting into that curious side to life, right? And so balancing that with the disciplined long-term perspective, excellent way of working with Sunday. And in fact, if there are any responsibilities involving information, communication, or what we're thinking about, could be a really good day of grounding that. All right, and Mercury's also going to pass over the North Node as if that wasn't enough. So there could be some new paths. Just know as a backdrop, it's not very personal. There could be some new paths involving how we're communicating, how we're thinking about things, and even with our perspective. And if there's anything new you can try Saturday and Sunday involving learning, involving thinking, reading, writing, sharing, really good time to just explore and try new and different things with that activation with the North Node, especially with the conjunction happening in Gemini. All right, so the last important thing here this weekend is very important. Jupiter is squaring up to Neptune for the second time. This first started back in January, and it's essentially a yearly transit. The last aspect will be in late September, September 21st will be the final one. So this is the middle contact, the second one, and it usually deals with things shifting in the right direction and sometimes us getting some insight. And with this, it deals particularly with any dreams or ideals or aspirations or possibilities that we've been becoming more aware of since January. So if you think around January, if there was anything around that time period that you started to see potentials with or want to manifest, or you had some dreams about, this could be a step in the right direction involving it. A shift, a pivot, and between now and late September makes it a really good time of implementation. The second half of any long transit like this makes it really good for the action, the implementation, whereas the first half is usually more about exploring it. We're still very new to it. But now with this second contact, there's either some information coming to light over the weekend, or a shift of perspective, or something happening that then helps us become more clearer about what we're actually doing and what actions we can take towards some of these either inspirations or dreams or ideals. Some of us, it could be spiritual activities. It could be anything in life that is we're inspired about or as an opportunity, right? It's these more expansive things in life with this square. And it does require the action, though. Do know that with squares, it is good to implement and to be somewhat patient and disciplined with the energy, which again, we're already seeing with all this Saturn activity anyways. All right, everyone, so that's a mouthful. So that's the weekend in a nutshell, a lot going on astrologically. To simplify everything, the most important thing we have is the full moon, which will be at 05:51 Eastern time of the Americas on Monday, if you want to make that calculation. So for most of us, it'll be late Sunday going into Monday. That's going to be an illuminating time. There's going to be a sort of cultivation and awareness of things pertaining to the deeper aspects of ourself and of life that leads to healing, transformation, and empowerment. And I will make a separate video on that here over the weekend, specifically for the full moon. All right, but as we approach the weekend, great weekend for this illumination and deeper connection to things all in all, and to maybe make some shifts and changes, maybe shift in direction involving some dreams, ideals, or inspirations. All right, so everyone have a fantastic weekend. Again, do check out that link down below for the Crow 777 radio show. Really good interview there. Check that out. And again, thank you so much for all of your support with the channel. And I'll see you all very soon for the full moon forecast. Take care.